The young Filipino boy arrives in America like millions of dreamers before him, but he is different. He is not here to just sing. He is here to resurrect a legendary voice. For 8 long years back in Manila, in a tiny small crowded neighborhood, he practiced Elvis every single night like it was a religion. His dad was a tricycle driver. His mom sold street snacks outside school. They never had studio. Never had rich vocal coach. Never had professional mic. Never had music academy. He learned from second-hand karaoke machines and cheap broken speakers and YouTube videos that would buffer and stop because of slow internet. But he never gave up. People in his school literally laughed when he said, "One day I will sing like Elvis in front of Simon Cowell." His classmates made fun of him every time he dressed like Elvis on Philippines' school talent show. Kids teased him saying Elvis is old, outdated, dead. But the boy believed there are voices in this world that never die if someone protects them. When he arrives on AGT stage, the world still does not know this kid carries the exact Elvis tone inside his throat. The stage feels bigger than anything he ever stood on in his life. The audience noise, the lights, the judge's table, the camera rigs, he never saw anything like this physically before. Yet he stands calm, because he knows what he came for is not fame, not clout, not shock value, he came to bring soul. And the soul inside him today is Elvis Presley's original touch, power, heartbreak and cultural stamp. Simon Cowell looks straight at him, and instantly gets a strange emotional vibration. The aura is not like typical impressionist contestants. This kid stands still like Elvis used to stand still. The old soul confidence. The quiet calm. The grounded energy. Simon asks him, "Why Elvis?" And the boy replies with a soft natural American accent that he learned through listening to Elvis records thousands of hours non-stop, because Elvis sang pain like Filipinos live pain. The entire studio suddenly becomes silently heavy. It is the silence before history type silence. His pianist touches the very first chord. In literally 2 seconds, Simon's eyebrows lift. His eyes widen. He leans forward. Because this is not copy. This is not act. This is not parody. This is not mimicry. It is soul transfer. The moment he opens his mouth, not a single judge expected the exact Elvis resonance that came out. The chest voice power. The smooth transition into head voice. The melancholic velvet timbre. The exact Elvis cry crack inside the note that not even pro impersonators get right. The crowd is stunned. People literally stand before chorus. They cannot wait until the end. They just stand by instinct. Terry backstage is frozen whispering, "Oh my God." Sophia covers her mouth like she saw a ghost materialize. Heidi's tears form halfway through verse 2 because she can feel the exact Elvis emotional imprint in every vowel shape. This kid is not doing impression. This kid is not doing Elvis cosplay. This kid is literally channeling Elvis Presley's emotional frequency as if a soul portal opened on that AGT stage in real time. Elvis is not being copied. Elvis is being accessed. Simon gets chills so strong his whole face shifts into emotional shock. He realizes he just discovered something the world will talk about for decades. When he enters chorus, the entire air inside the AGT studio changes like pressure shift. It sounds like Elvis Presley himself just teleported back into present-day America and is controlling this boy's vocal cords like spiritual sync. He doesn't push like a normal singer trying to imitate legends. His throat relaxes in the exact identical natural Elvis position. The boy bends into the note with the little Elvis half-grit texture and that micro-cry break that makes an Elvis line feel like heartbreak punched through velvet. The crowd feels it instantly. People gasp. Some people put their hands on their chest. Some just stare because their brain can't understand how a human who never met Elvis, never lived in 50s or 60s American music era, is carrying that kind of consistent emotional DNA accuracy inside every syllable. Half of the audience starts crying before even realizing they are crying. This chorus feels like spiritual memory awakening inside people who used to listen to Elvis with their grandparents. It feels like a time machine performance. Something the world thought would never return. The young Filipino boy is literally restoring an extinct vocal species in real time. Even professional vocal coaches in the audience start recording because they know this level of tonal reincarnation is not normal and they need reference for future teaching. Terry backstage whispers, "This is possession. That is Elvis singing." And he wasn't joking. He meant it literally. The boy closes his eyes and sings like he is communicating with another dimension. He moves his hands slow like Elvis used to do when he felt his way through emotional weight of a lyric. Sophia covers her mouth and keeps shaking her head like her mind is rejecting reality because she can't process that this tiny young Filipino kid is making her feel like she is inside a real 1968 Elvis comeback special. Heidi is crying heavier now because she can feel pure grief inside the boy's voice and she knows this isn't calculated. This isn't performance technique manipulation. This is raw inheritance. This is spiritual transference. This is legacy being carried by someone it was never supposed to reach. The internet already knows this clip will go viral in every Elvis fan community in seconds the moment internet sees it. Simon wants to speak after the chorus ends but he physically cannot. His throat gets blocked by sudden emotional punch. Tears burst out his eyes and he tries to hide it but he can't hide it. He looks down, he wipes, he shakes, he tries to breathe and the tears keep coming because he is emotionally overwhelmed by the fact that this boy is proving something Simon deeply believed his entire career. Real soulfulness is not trained, it is born and preserved like sacred flame until someone pure enough protects it. The music stops. The boy opens his eyes and Simon is still crying. Simon tries again to speak and again fails. He stares at him like he is looking at something holy. Simon then stands up without saying a single word, raises his hand and slams the golden buzzer with explosive force like he just declared, "This must never be ignored again." The confetti rain explodes instantly. Audience explodes louder than any AGT moment this year. The boy covers his mouth and starts crying too. Simon walks to the boy and hugs him while still crying. The judges' table is emotional chaos. Everyone in that room knows they did not just see a superstar. They just witnessed the most accurate emotional resurrection of Elvis Presley's vocal soul ever done in modern-time television history. The confetti falls like heaven and the world inside that studio has zero idea that this exact moment is about to become permanent internet history content. People in the audience are not cheering like regular AGT cheering. They are cheering like they are watching an unbelievable historical supernatural moment that only happens once in lifetime. The staff, camera operators, lighting crew, people in the sidelines who have shot thousands of auditions, even they are emotional. Everyone's phones are up. Everyone is posting instantly. TikTok, Instagram, Shorts, Reels, X, everything explodes. People caption it live while crying filming it, "Elvis is back." Filipinos have something spiritually different. This is not normal mimic. Simon crying is the proof. The algorithms instantly detect massive share activity inside the studio and the moment this airs this is guaranteed global trend. Elvis fans, who normally gatekeep extremely hard, watch this clip later that night. At first they gatekeep like always. They argue. They get angry at internet for claiming Elvis is back. But after listening twice, they freeze. They listen again. They say out loud, "This is the closest anyone has ever come." And then slowly, those gatekeepers become supporters. Comments start flowing from hardcore Elvis historians saying this kid deserves international protection because voices like this are once every 100 years. People start calling him Filipino Elvis soul vessel. Even music professors claim this boy is carrying a unique cultural vocal empathy ability Filipinos have that the world can't scientifically measure. The boy backstage is still crying. He cannot process that his life just changed permanently in front of the entire world in one single performance. Terry hugs him. His parents are watching from the side streaming tears like waterfalls because they know how many nights this kid sacrificed sleep to sing with broken karaoke speakers and low battery radio cassette tapes. They know how much poverty tried to break this dream. They know this moment wasn't luck. It was destiny built through pain and hardship turned into spiritual voice. And now, Simon Cowell is literally promising to personally help him build future global career. Not local, not small, global. After the audition they take him for interview. This is where the twist comes. This is where everyone learns why he specifically chose Elvis. He didn't choose Elvis because Elvis was trendable content. He didn't choose Elvis because Elvis was YouTube popular. He says Elvis saved his childhood. When their power got cut for days, when the lights went out, when they couldn't play games, when they couldn't watch TV, the only happiness inside that house were old Elvis cassette tapes powered by cheap battery radio. Those tapes raised him. Those tapes built his personality. Those tapes gave his soul safety when life outside was cruel. He says Elvis felt pain in singing like Filipinos feel pain in real life. That is the bridge. That is the reason he is able to channel Elvis differently than any American impersonator ever did. He wasn't studying Elvis. He was surviving with Elvis' voice as emotional shelter. The interviewer asks him what his dream is now after Golden Buzzer. He says, "My dream is not fame. My dream is to make Elvis fans feel like Elvis is still with us." Just one more time. Simon hears that line and his face goes soft emotional again. He tells him, "You have no idea how big you will become after this show. You will headline world tour. Not maybe. You will." This is not hype talk. This is Simon Cowell speaking from the deepest raw emotional truth he felt in years. The door to this boy's future just opened on global scale. From poverty to global heritage protector level singer. This is the kind of AGT story the world will replay for 50 years, because Elvis' soul came back through a Filipino child who never gave up even when the world laughed at him.